Good evening, Randomizer fans, and welcome to the Final Fantasy Spring Co-op Tournament. My name is Lord Fizzlebeef, and joined with me in the booth today is Min. How you doing, Min?
Fine, thanks for asking.
So today we've got a game one that I am super excited for. On our left side, we have the Zodiac Braves. Demon Frog and Shadow Walker 227. Demon Frog himself, a founding member of Trash Island Fire Department, a group near and dear to my heart. And Shadow Walker 227, the winner of second place in the spring tournament. And on the other side, we've got Team Map Strats, Mizada and Zenobian. I recall Mizada being in the tournament, and I recall seeing some of their races, and it looked like they were a little rough around the edges, but with practice, I think they can get there. Zenobian, I know nothing about. The only thing I know about this team is that I think they have the record for most practices under their belt. And I want to see all that hard work on display. I'm fascinated to see how this is going to turn out. And it looks like the gate's going to be dropping any second now. And we're off.
And there we go.
And right off the bat, we've already found TOF.
Well, that's handy. Level 1 Black Magic, Temper, Slow 2, Lit, and Hold. That's actually not that bad.
White Magic, the only things of note, Harm 2 if we're missing an AoE, and Cure 3.
Cure 3 is nice, really.
Level 1 Magic's kind of sketch. That Temper is fine if we find like a dagger at the store, which we did. We got large daggers. We can make Temper work. Armor shop. We got cheap-ish silver bracelets. We got ice armor. We've got serviceable armor. Over in the item shop. Item shop's loaded. Some cheap stuff. Houses for 1200 is a little meh, but you know, it's fine. We can make it work. Especially in this scaling.
Let's see what our first Topher chests have.
A whole copper bracelet. Both Demon Walker and Shadow Frog are in TOF. This is a curiosity. Including, and Mizada and Zenobian are both in here too. I wonder if we're taking Garland for cheap, easy levels.
Cabin and some gold. Not much of note here. I guess copper bracelet's okay in this situation.
Mm-hmm. Demon Frog abandoned ship. He decides he doesn't want to go through the effort. Meanwhile, Shadow Walker is going with some number of tempers on that dagger. Managed to stab for 79 damage. That's a feat at level 1.
Looks like 6 tempers.
6 will get it done. We'll get there. There we go. Stab for 95.
Level 1.
Out of a level 1 dagger. It's enough for level 2. Mizada and Zenobian, I think, are trying the same trick here. So let's talk about parties real quick. I look over at the right side of my screen, and I see a whole plethora of stuff. We've got on the top Fighter Rainbow, and on the bottom, I believe that was Fighter Thief Red-Black. We're bringing every possible tool we have for whatever gets in our way. If there happens to be a dense encounter table at one point, that Thief's going to get us away from stuff. We've got a White Mage for White Magic, Black Mage for Black Magic, Red Mage in case that works. It's the Swiss Army knife of parties. It's trying to be ready for every scenario we possibly can be. It's an interesting strategy. I think it can work. I'm interested to see how they put it to use. And meanwhile, on the left side of our screen, we've got Shadow Walker with Fighter Red, Black, Black. Shadow Walker himself, a very devoted fan of the Black Mage. I'm surprised he's not running 3 of them. And Demon Frog, I missed what his party was.
Ooh, there's a Cardia right here. And
there we go. Demon Frog's got Fighter Rainbow. And already we've got a loose crown. Shadow Walker finds a loose crown in a Cardia floor. And Zenobian, somewhere along the line, found a Zap Gauntlet with the Garbo level 1 magic we've got right now, a Zap Gauntlet is going to move mountains for them. So long as we find dungeons easier, Ice Cave or easier, that Zap Gauntlet is going to do huge work for them.
Unrunnable spiders in the Earth Cave floor is kind of rough.
Yeah, without armor and with low levels, anything unrunnable is going to be a chore at this point.
Not to mention on the left side, they don't have that Zap Gauntlet yet.
So we've got Zenobian heading west. He finds his Cardia room. He's going to get the loose crown. We've got Mazada checking out Provoca, it looks like.
Looks like Nuke on level 2 black magic.
Oh, that's good news. That's going to solve all our magic problems. Looks like Demon Frog has finally headed east to Provoca to check it out. Did Mazada wipe to pirates? Do we actually have unsafe pirates?
They look like they're hitting pretty hard.
Oh yeah, those are stabby pirates. That might have been what our problem was. So Demon Frog sees level 2 nuke, and Shadow Walker immediately slams on the brakes, pounds reset. He's headed east to Provoca.
I can't really blame him with that double black party he's running.
Oh yeah, no, Nuke is gonna make his day. It is the happiest we'll ever see Shadow Walker is with level 2 Nuke. Demon Frog taking on his pirates. And yep, Shadow Walker ignores everything. Ignore pirates, ignore in. Let's go straight for that nuke. Demon Frog takes down pirates, gets most of his party to level 5.
A lot of XP right there.
And we got the Chime. Chime is actually a really good item in Floor Entrance Shuffle. The thing about cracking Floor Entrance Shuffle is that kind of the most important items revolve around locks. And Chime is basically Chime, Rod, and Cube are the 3 big items that you want to find. Because those are going to unlock Mirage Tower and eventually the Cube floor and eventually the Vampire floor. Oxyel is also on that list. So we've got Mazada exploring Agama floor. Finding... Oh, we got a flame sword. That's a weapon. It's a weapon we didn't have. And loose adamant. We're finding a lot of early progression. Meanwhile, Zenobian seems to be taking... He's either taking an imp grind or he's measuring out the encounter table.
Looks like there's an eye tile in the volcano.
Oh, early eye tile.
It's farmable too.
I think a big chunk of this race is going to come down to who decides to utilize that eye tile in the most optimum way. Do we sit on it now, or do we come back after we've got like a dozen key items to make the grind even faster? Demon Frog considers his options, decides to go for the eye fight, immediately loses a fighter. I believe that was due to straight damage. I think it just got, punched to death. And it looks like we've got Zenobian and Shadow Walker both diving TOF location. We've got Lich found.
That was fast.
And we got double nuke. It's fine. Just blow them up.
Ink, not very scary at all.
Lich somehow succeeding and being even less dangerous than usual. Yeah, there we go. 3 nukes.
Down goes our first fiend.
First fiend at the
9-minute mark.
Yep, first fiend at the 9-minute mark. Seems decent. Seems good.
Oh, seafood party pack on the Agama trap tile.
Ugh. The good news is that we only have to hit that one once, maybe 3 times, depending on how badly we really want to investigate a red D chest later on.
Here's Marsh Bottom. Silver bracelet.
Marsh Bottom is good, but only with the key, and we don't have the key right now. We can clear the rest of it, and we can make note of it and come back for later because we're desperate for most anything we can get right now. But unfortunately, the incentive here is only accessible with the key. Meanwhile, Demon Frog's leading with the White Mage. I wonder if we're looking to Dan it? But with level 2 life, I'm not sure.
So
yeah, we're moving armor off of the White Mage. Yeah, we're trying to Dan a White Mage. Meanwhile, Shadow finds his Lich. He's gonna creep in with his Fiend kill somewhere just over the 10-minute mark. And Demon Frog has danned the White Mage and the Red Mage.
Just barely not killing the Sea Snake.
Throw enough nukes at it. We'll blow it up. So
that was a lot of XP.
Yep. So here's the question if we're Demon Frog. We wanted to kill the White Mage, and it's dead. Did we want to kill that Red Mage? We know we didn't want to kill that Black Mage, and losing that fighter is also really bad, so let's try this again. I think Demon Frog is looking to 3-man this. I think we're looking to dump the White Mage, because all it's got going for it right now is life, and that's fine, but that doesn't get us through combat. And that Red Mage has that life anyway.
Life is great, really. That's not really something you want to keep up if you have a Red Mage that can use life anyway.
And there's Shadow Walker's first orb lit. Let's call it the 11:30 mark. 2 very, very fast first orbs.
Ice Sword and Martian Incentive Chest. It's not too bad.
That's a weapon. Finally, we've got a weapon for that fighter. The Flame Sword is... it'll do. It's a little better than the Silver Sword we could get at the store, but that Ice Sword... If we didn't have... If things weren't clamped, we could carry that into Topher. Even at clamped, if we can get a source of fast, we've got level 1 Tempers. We can carry that to the end.
Resets out of Marsh Bottom.
Resets out of the Ice Sword. Interesting. I would have carried that out.
Looks like we have a ship now.
Oh, yeah, we have a boat. Everyone's interested in Elfland, I guess. Except, nope, we've got a divergence. They were both headed towards Elfland. There's definitely some communication. Demon Frog is pivoting west. Looks like we're going to stop at Melman first. Check out what's there. I missed level 3.
By level 3, pretty much the only thing there of note was Fire.
We've got level 3 Fade, and it's red learnable, so maybe, I mean, at least the White Mage is functional, but it's still not as good as that Red Mage. 42,000 gold bracelets in Melman.
Invis 2 on level 4.
Quad-X.
Warp on level 4.
That's a good level 4. I like that level 4. Warp and Exit are important spells in regular rando. They are 1,000 times more valuable in Floor and Entrance Shuffle. Because sometimes you find, 2 ribbons and a Mazza 9 floors deep in some unbelievable slog. And you want to carry those out. Warp is going to help you do that.
Sarda's Cave in Elf Castle.
Alright. What's Sarda got for us today? A canoe.
Canoe.
Wait. It's not... It's kind of what we wanted. It's not the floater, but it'll do.
Definitely opens up some more chats.
Oh, there we go. Fire 3 out of level 3 Black Magic. It's not Fade, but it'll give something for the Black Mages to do at level 3.
Titans West at Astos Castle.
So here's the thing. With Titans, you never know what you're going to get. You always fear the dreaded required Titans wormhole, where it dumps you out somewhere inaccessible, let's say Cardia double bottom, and then in Cardia double top you find the floater. Which means that the Ruby ends up being the most important thing in the game, where most of the time the Ruby is just like, what is, hooray, I got more key item scaling, that's it. I always root for required Titan wormhole.
I love Titan wormholes.
So Demon Frog is doing canoe stuff, probably headed to check out Crescent, and then follow it up with Volcano and Ice. Meanwhile, Shadow Walker, I believe he's in Marsh. On the other side, Zenobian just picked up their canoe as Mazada finishes their Elfland Castle shopping trip. They're both in the same location, so let's see how they decide to divide up this workload. Zenobian heads west, probably towards Marsh. No, towards Northwest Castle, as Mazada gets in a boat and heads east. I'm all for the most direct, shortest path, but because the boat has a different encounter table that has less encounters on it, there's a solid argument that could be made that if you docked at a river that we just passed, that it is technically a shorter trip to Crescent if we're looking to bypass all encounters. But we docked the boat at a dock. So it's a little out of our way. Meanwhile, Demon Frog having a heck of a time trying to figure out which crazy old man has the item. Oh, he found a Quake.
Gauntlet.
It's a Quake Gauntlet. Oh boy.
Stuff with memes.
All that work for so much disappointment. Meanwhile, Zenobian finds Elfland Castle with an elf nurse in it. How novel. It's worth clarifying that in the flag set that we're using for round 1 of the co-op tournament, we have a flag on called Objective NPC Shuffle. Now what that does is it takes the elf nurse that you turn the herb into, Dr. Un over in Elfland, and Bahamut, and it shuffles their locations. Now, because it's shuffling a pool of 3, we end up with, same locations frequently. So checking the room in Elfland Castle is a very valid strategy just to see who's home. And as I'm saying that, we've got Demon Frog who found the Dwarf Cave. We turned in that adamant we found early on, and we got a tail.
Not useful to us right now, but it'll certainly be useful later.
Meanwhile, Mazada is deciding to take a grind outside Crescent Isle as Zenobian clears the Earth continent, finds the other side of Titan. Well, so much for that being useful. Checks Earth Cave, and we got Sharknado. Lots of goodies there, and
There's
a lot of grind tiles.
Floater.
Oh, Floater get. I believe Demon Frog is over by either Volcano or Ice. We've got a Blue D sighting We got the blue D tile in Sharknado. If I, for some reason, is lethal, blue D is... And the blue D rolls squishy, that could work as a grind tile, as Mazada picks up their tail. Blink and you miss it. Shadow Walker, almost as though he was waiting for it. He's first in the air, below the 19-minute mark.
It's going straight to Chime Check.
You might as well. It's the weird item we got early. Let's see what it's guarding, and it's Ordeals.
Ordeals.
Well, unfortunately, Ordeals is not incentivized. It's good for experience. It's got some boxes. Shadow Walker decides he doesn't want to waste his time with it. We're off. And head straight to Cardia, the most entrance-dense area in the game.
Mirage 2.
Meanwhile, Mazada finds Astos' castle, gets his floater. Ribbon in Sharknado over on Zenobian's side. And kind of an okay grind tile if we just kind of want to throw Fire 3s at it. But Zenobian doesn't want it. He runs away. Looking at his levels, I believe he's level 18. I don't... No, that wasn't 18. That's 10. Sorry. And that's 2 ribbons known location for Team Map Strats so far. It's important to note that in co-op, only the key items are shared. So only the orbs are shared, and only the things that make the funny noise when you open the box are shared. But the good stuff, like the ribbons, your opal bracelets, your Mazas, that's not shared. But there's nothing stopping you from just telling your partner, hey, you go over here and you open the box, you'll get a ribbon.
Frosty tile and Earth.
They're
Paper ones too. Opal shield.
Shadow having a heck of a time over in Cardia Forest. As Mazada's in the air, let's call it the, right below the 21-minute mark, with Zenobian in the air at the 21-minute mark. We've got everyone airborne.
Pure shirt.
Heck yeah. I mean, we can hope it's the black shirt, because we've got, you know, buckets of black mages. And if it's not, we can sell it at the store. Zenobian's about to get the awkward news about Ordeals. Let's see how he reacts to this. We're gonna drop a save, and we're headed in. We're gonna get our Ordeals check. We've already got 2 ribbons, so...
Shadow going back in to see what's in, and there's a slab in Ice Cave.
Demon Frog finds loose slab. I want to say he's in Titan's West right now.
Shadow finds C-Split.
Oof.
With everyone's favorite Sahag pack.
Yeah, at least we got Nuke and Fade. Zenobian finds the Sharknado tile. I'm curious about continuing to check grind tiles with I being in a known, very easy to reach location.
Dragon armor and ice.
Dragon armor guarded by a phantom. Dragon armor guarded by a phantom. That's... I mean, it's probably fine. At least we can run away from it, but just don't let it eat you. As Mazada finds Kraken.
TNT. Loose TNT. In Cardia Forest.
Seemed on the right side of Split. Seems good. Mazada decides to run away from Kraken. Doesn't think he has what it takes to take on the big squid dude right now. Decides to investigate the south end of the Split before we get carried away. And finds garbage dragons. Are we gonna risk it for the biscuit? Nope, we're gonna exit. So that's 2 fiends found. And we know where TOF is. All we need are the other 2 fiends, and we're in go mode. As Mazada heads over to Titan West.
Let's say this C-Split has merged top.
Shoutouts to the Game Racing Channel 0 for their raid. Welcome to the channel, guys. Welcome to the Final Fantasy Rando Co-op tournament. Mazada finds a Slow 2 helmet and a katana. Slow 2 is one of the more interesting spells in the game. It's non-elemental, so technically it can work against, say, Chaos or Kraken 2 or whatever. But even with maxed out accuracy, when we're trying to hit 200M def, that generally just doesn't work. I think the accuracy is still only 6%, maybe a little higher. And the Tiny Fairy hands over the Rub Hammer. We're passing the 25-minute mark, and both teams have made excellent work kind of dividing and conquering this seed.
Shadow finds Casa Canaria, Oxyale, and an Opal Bracelet.
Oh. The friend of the Black Mages is real happy to see that Opal Bracelet, I can tell you that. And an X for staff added out of Ice Cave loop for Demon Frog.
Loving all this Mimi item magic.
Oh. If we had a low-level Brack, I would love to see meme strats for Chaos. Just keep X-Fering till it works, and then just Brack till it works. We've got infinite charges of X-Fer, so that's one problem solved.
Demon Frog gonna do slab turn in. And slab translation, sorry.
And Shadow Walker is very conspicuously reparking his airboat. He doesn't want to walk all the way to the other side of the Cardia Double Island. No, he flies in style.
Waterfall Cave in Cardia Swamp.
We've got Warp, so Waterfall is a pretty good deal right now. And we're getting a heck of a run. We just have to dodge the few real big pain enemies in here. At level 5 Black Magic, I spy Bane and the Fabled Brack. Unfortunately, Brack is tail-locked for Red Mage. Oops.
Out of bounds bat.
Out of bounds bat. We found it. And our robot's holding the key. Fantastic. Now, the question is, do we remember where Marshlocked was? Question in chat, who's winning? Well, that's a difficult question. If we're talking about percentage, just straight percentage cleared, I would have to give the edge to Zodiac Braves. It seems like they've opened more areas, and they just found the key, which is one of the two few key items they really actually need to win the game. Team Mapstrats has found a Kraken. They haven't engaged it, but they know where it is, so that they at least know where one of the fiends that are missing is. It's kind of even at this point, but just based on clearing speed, I would have to give the edge to Zodiac Braves at this point.
Herb on the right side. And an Aegis Shield right next to it.
All right. Oh yeah, no, we know where Elf Doctor is. We even know where the Elf Nurse is. That's a thing we can do right now. Oh, Mazada. So, I didn't notice with the sprite hack. There was an ice sword in Ice Cave. It's not the ice sword though. It is the Bane sword masquerading as an ice sword by casting ice. Sometimes this randomizer has a sick sense of humor, and I love it. Meanwhile, Demon Frog and Shadow Walker exchanging information on locations of ribbons, because I believe Demon Frog is going over territory that's already been covered by Shadow, but he kind of went straight to where the ribbon was. And he's going to barbecue some mummies for good measure. So, in co-op, in this specific setup that we have here, I like to think that there's 3 phases to the game. There's breakneck exploration, and then there's communication to resolve turn-ins in an optimum pattern, and then there's endgame Topher. It feels like we have come to the end of Phase 1, and we're now starting to enter Phase 2. We've still got quite a few turn-in items that we have no idea exactly what to do with. And a couple yet that we have, yet to find. So this part, the next 20 minutes are really going to come down to communication. As I say that, the herb turns into Mazza. I don't believe Zodiac Braves has done that yet. And I would be willing to bet that whenever Zenobian finishes what he's doing over here, he's going to make a beeline for that Mazza. Finding Mazza first is an advantage. It's unclear whether it's enough to overcome the clear advantage that I would put Zodiac Braves as having at this point. And Demon Frog finds Kraken, and he decides he wants a piece of that. He's actually going to go fight the Kraken.
Here's our mermaids.
Mermaid check. Good for a ton of boxes. We're still missing a couple loose key items.
Ruby.
Yeah, we can feed that Titan. We can check out the 4 boxes he's hiding. We probably don't want to, but we can. Meanwhile, Toga Party has the Wall Sword, otherwise known as Defense. Now that I think about it, Wall's actually kind of a really, really good thing to have attached to a sword. Because that means we can kind of play fast and loose with how many ribbons we would prefer to have going into Topher. So, Min,
Yes.
we're almost 33 minutes in. If your team map strats, we've got 1 orb down, we've got Mazza, we've got several key items, but we're missing the key and the loot. What are we hoping to really find in the next 5 minutes?
It's a hard question because, of course, you want to go looking for that key, first of all, because we have Marshlock incentivized and we still don't have loot, so I'm willing to bet that loot's in that Marshlock chest that we need to get.
So I'll put the question to you about Zodiac Braves. We just got our 2nd orb. We've got key. We've got no loot. What are we hoping to find in the next 5 minutes?
Either The other 2 orbs... Well, we want the other 2 orbs and the loot, really. I'm willing to bet that one of the fiends is behind the Oxiel entrance.
That's a good bet. I don't believe I've seen Q Block yet.
We haven't seen Q-Block yet either, no.
So here's what I'm looking for. Here's my dream scenario. Carrie is behind Q Block, which is behind Rod Lock. Yeah?
Why is that?
Because I hate Joy, and I want them to experience pain. So one of the other fun things that we have going on for this co-op tournament, we're doing a little bit of an experiment here. With the runner's blessing, of course, we have decided that we want to try and give mid-race interviews a shot. Now, it's our duty as comms to naturally not give them any spoilers or give them any information that might lead them into doing, what they aren't already doing. But it can also give a real key insight to what their thought process is right now. And that could be very interesting and a little entertaining. So I'm going to excuse myself real quick, and I'm going to see if Zodiac Braves is eager to explain themselves and what they've done up to this point.
Looks like our team map Strats has found their key now.
And welcome to the booth, Shadow Walker, representative of Zodiac Braves. How you doing, Shadow?
I'm doing pretty good. Feeling pretty good about this seed.
So, we are 36 minutes in, and we've killed a Lich, because of course you can kill a Lich, and I believe we've killed a Kraken.
We have killed a Kraken.
How we feeling?
Feeling really good. I feel like Demon and I have routed this really strongly. There's not a whole lot of things that are left on our tracker as far as entrances to dive into, so feeling pretty confident about that. And this magic has been really, really favorable.
Now, let's say it's Christmas time, and I'm Santa. What gift do you want in the next 5 minutes that you would really prefer?
Loot.
The loot?
Loot.
All right.
Hey, how about that? That's a loot. Christmas came early.
I mean, I asked you what you wanted, so...
Well, thank you.
Receive.
Yeah.
How about those last 2 fiends while we're at it? You got those for me?
All right, I'll see what I can do.
All right.
Well, that was fun. All right, and while we're at it, it's because I consider this kind of the, I don't know, let's call it 40 to 50% mark of this run. I'm gonna go poke Team Map Strats and see how they're feeling.
Looks like we have our cube in the caravan.
And welcome to the booth, Mazada and Zenobian. How's it going, guys?
Doing good, how are y'all?
So, we're 38 minutes in. we've got a Lich Kill, because of course we can get a Lich Kill. We found a Kraken,
Yes,
but
we did.
but we didn't do anything with it.
No, we figured I was a little bit too low and didn't have any Brack or Bane to make an easy kill of it.
Okay. How are we feeling about progress of the seed so far?
I'm feeling alright. What about you, Zenobian?
I think we're doing pretty well given what we found. I'm
So
happy with how we're doing.
you went a little out of the way, and you found that herb, and that turned into Mazza. How happy are you to have that right now?
Pretty happy.
I mean, we
Pretty
already have the Vorpal, but
Yes. We know where the Vorpal is, but the Baz is always good to have. Good safety net.
I mean, credit where credit's due. Vorpal's pretty really good in clamped flags, because you're
It is.
much more likely to see high absorb.
Yes. And in our practice runs, we do like to use the Vorpal towards the end.
So, I'm gonna ask you a question. It's Christmas morning, and I'm Santa Claus. What
I say.
gift-wrapped box do you want under the tree to find in the next, 5 minutes? What's the one thing that you want?
The loot.
yeah, the loot.
All right, well, I've taken your request, and I'll see what I can do.
Thanks, Santa.
Thanks, Santa.
All right, back to the race with you boys.
Thank you.
All right, I think that went swimmingly.
Doing great.
So we've got one team that really, really, really wants that loot. Zodiac Braves has that loot. I suspect, even though they didn't necessarily mention it, Zodiac Braves would really like to see that Mazza. Because they never found the herb. Or if they did find the herb, they didn't do anything with it.
Did they get a purple?
They might have the Vorpal. I don't recall. According to tracking, the Vorpal was in Ordeal's location, and I believe Demon Frog has been there.
Okay.
So that's the two races we've kind of got going on right now. We've got Desperate trying to find the loot, and we've got, everything's great, just give us some fiends.
Here's Carrie.
There's Carrie on the left and Tiamat on the right. Tiamat apparently is in Waterfall. So, if we're team map strats, we're 41 minutes in. We've only got one orb lit. I would think that I would at least poke my head into Warmech, because it's like first floor dive, I think. Just to see what he's all about. But they're not confident. Zenobian's bailing. He's either going to finish looking for grinds, or looking for entrances, or he's gonna do an eye grind. Chat pointing out that they might be desperate to find Bahamut to turn in that tail, because Bahamut's still on the loose somewhere. And
8 hits, 282 from Carrie.
Carrie rolling high today. Carrie 1 is one of those fiends that just when
Rod is on TNT turn in.
sweet. Carrie is one of those bosses that just when you start to disrespect it, it crushes you. But that TNT turn in for the Rod is huge, because that Rod is guarding something. I still want it to be Q-Block, but we've already covered that I hate Joy. That whole I'm Santa Claus thing was just a ruse to throw them off. I think it worked.
Definitely worked.
Yeah, Zenobian is returning to the scene of the eye grind. Or headed past it? Headed to Marsh Bottom with that key. As Shadow Walker heads up the river towards Waterfall, he's going to get the War Mech surprise. I have a feeling he's just going to go straight in and thrash it.
One thing to point out, we still haven't seen Bahamut yet.
We haven't seen Bahamut, that's true.
Fear Axe.
I fear the axe. So, how badly do we want Bahamut at this point? I mean, sure, Opal Armor, great, fine, whatever, but Team Map Strats has the Mazza, and Team Zodiac Braves is leaning hard on magic, and we've got basically all the good magic early. So it's a little questionable what use either team is going to get out of Bahamut at this point. But then again, there's always the safety blanket of Opal Armor, because that stuff's real thick. It's real good.
Well, there's half of Bahamut's floor. There's Tiamat.
Shadow Walker's charging straight up that bridge. He wants him a slice of that War Mech. And here we go. We're going to start with the Zap Gauntlet. And Spam Nuke. 3 into 56 doesn't work. Nuke for 147. Incoming punch 212. Down goes a Black Mage. Outgoing Nuke for 306. Let's try Zap Gauntlet again. Because sure. Incoming 424. That fighter is barely there. Nuke for 118. Nuke for 316. We're getting close to the 1,000 damage mark. Here goes another nuke, 306. Down goes the fighter. Here goes another nuke, 163. War Mech is terminated. And we've got the Red Mage alive, and I believe that Red Mage has access to life. We've also got a lot of levels.
16k XP for that Red Mage and that each for that Red Mage and that Black.
Those two mages, I believe, went from like 18 to 25. Now, unfortunately, the fighter didn't get those levels, and that feels real bad. Bad enough that we had to abandon ship just to bring everybody back to life before we went back in again. So Mazada kills Carrie as Zenobian rounds the floor. Gonna take on this Kraken. Maybe even Bracken this Kraken? I live in dream.
Brack Strats on Tiamat.
Sure. It works. 20% of the time. But when it doesn't work, we've got Nuke. And Zap, I guess. Zap is solid 3 into 56. But we're going to keep firing Banes and Bracks, hoping that we get somewhere. Meanwhile, on the other side, we've got Mazza Swing, we've got a Dead Thief, and I saw some nukes. We've got Nuke, and we've got Nuke. Swing, Nuke, Nuke. Just break this Kraken in half. Swing for 177, Nuke for 143, Nuke for 104. Meanwhile, Shadow Walker firing every Bracken Bane, still nothing's landing. We've finally found bad luck. Zenobian firing off nuke after nuke. The final nuke for 172. Kraken is terminated. Just as Shadow Walker Brax. Is that 4 orbs lit? I think that's 4 orbs lit. I think Shadow Walker and Demon Frog are in go mode. Meanwhile, Mazada and Zenobian looks like they're covering old ground. Looks like they're looking for something. Tracking has marked that they did not get the loot, but I recall seeing them in Marsh Bottom. Did we not get that loot? Shadow Walker rounds the corner in Canaria, looking to stock up on those heals. I think he's just gonna...
There's our tail turning.
Oh, we found Tail. Where was Tail? I mean, we're gonna warp out of here, so we'll get a preview, but we found the tail turning, and that's probably right where Shadow Walker's headed. Equipping that dragon armor and the Aegis shield if we found it. That's gonna fix our stuff.
Looks like it's behind Q block.
Gotta teleport to that Dragon's Lair as they high-five, as the Zodiac Braves high-five in Bahamut's tunnel. And then Demon Frog remembers he has Warp and leaves. Shadow Walker skips that first step. Just casts Warp, leaves. So now we've got class change. That red mage is going to be helped by a lot of magic that they were locked out of for promotion. We've got a grind tile nearby. How long are we going to grind, or are we just going to head straight for TOF? That's the question that Zodiac Braves is wrangling right now. Meanwhile, Team Map Strats is chugging along. Zenobian returns to the Bridge of Destiny. I believe this is their last orb, as Mazada, I believe, is still looking for that elusive Dargon. As Shadow Walker 227 is the first to enter Topher at the 50-minute mark. We'll call it 50 minutes, 30 seconds. That is fast. The bad news is that... Okay, so we've got a red mage and a black mage at level 25. That's cool. We've got a fighter and another black mage at like level 17. That's not cool. But if this is the paperiest of paper Tophers, we could see sub 60. And while Shadow Walker is doing his blitz dive to test the waters, Demon Frog is taking his time. He's buying some armor, he's rearranging his stuff. Looking at the armor screen, his party is pretty decked out. We've got average levels above 20. And we're considering where we're going. We're headed to Earth Cave. That's a destination. No, we're not headed to Earth Cave. Where are we going? We're headed to Titan's West?
Earth 1?
Zodiac Braves has forgotten where the eye tile was. Meanwhile, Team Map Strats, continuing to chug along. Zenobian, this is a second trip to the Bridge of Destiny. We're gonna try poking this war mech thingy again, see what happens. Here we go. Fight, fight. We're gonna temper the fighter, and we're gonna temper the fighter. All melee power. We're gonna let that Mazza do the work for us. 3 hits, 120 isn't gonna help, though. Thief punches for an adorable 1 damage. Warmech retaliates, blows up the Black Mage. Let's try Temper again. Swing, 3 hits, 194. Warmech fasts. That's not good. Temper to the fighter. Let's continue tempering. It's our only hope at this point. Boom goes the Red Mage. 2 hits, 113. This is not going the way we envisioned. Boom goes the Thief. 3 hits, 256. Not enough. Warmech Cure 4s itself.
Cure 4.
Oh boy. 3 hits, 430. That gets us kind of back to where we were. 2 hits, 456. Yeah, we're back to square one, but boom goes the fighter.
800 damage.
This is not going the direction they had anticipated. With the amount of evasion and armor we've got going on, that Mazza is just not doing the job. But we're gonna try it again. Meanwhile, blink and you miss it. Shadow Walker 227 is over Speed Bump Mark 2 and is already to carry 2. Letting him fly with the nukes and the swings and the fades. Using Fade on the Red Mage to hold back nuke and life charges, just in case people start falling over. And a nuke for 392 takes down Carry 2. Meanwhile, Zenobian, back on the horse, eats a nuclear for his troubles. This Warmech is scaling with power over time. Pretty soon it's going to be stronger than all 4 fiends put together. Swing, 2 hits, 176, not going anywhere. The Cure 4 happens. Let's just reset everything. Swing, 1 hit, 38. Tornado comes out. Down goes the outgoing nuke for 155. Let's try swing and nuke again.
This Warmaker is not very nice.
152 and 68 ain't going to do anything. Lightning 2 takes out the fighter. All that's left is the red mage, but boom, he goes. Zada tags in. Here we go. Let's try Temper, and then Biz 2. We really want to dodge some of those melee hits, and we've got a white mage. Let's put him to work. But the nuclear comes out. It don't care what your dodge is. Let's try Temper. Second in Biz 2 comes out. We brought the wrong evasion magic to this. We're going to need some healing. Out goes the Mazza swing. 2 hits, 248. It's progress. Let's try Temper. Let's try heal 3. Let's try Temper. Swing at the fighter for only 171. It's still there. Outgoing swing for the Mazza, not doing much damage. Heal 3 happens. Let's undo a little bit of that nuclear damage. And the Temper lands. Let's try another round. We've got swing, invis 2. We're gonna do Cure 3. We got to keep that knight alive, and some Temper. Invis 2. Warmech hits the fighter for 211 before that Cure 3 goes off. It falls over, and he resets out. Meanwhile, on Zodiac Brave side, we jump that Kraken 2 speed bump, and we're already to Tiamat 2. It's time to throw everything we've got at what's probably going to be an absorb fight. Out goes Temper. Tiamat blows up a black mage. Out goes Temper. Let's swing, but I assume is X-Cal. 4 hits, 340. Could do better. Temper happens. Punches the knight. Brings it down to 25 health. We're going to try swing again. 4 hits, 379. That Tiamat's still there. We got to go all offense. Nuke happens. 152. Blows up the black mage. Let's try swinging. 4 hits, 565. Tiamat is still there. We've got fade happening. We got to conserve those life charges. We get initiative. 3 hits, 360 damage. Tiamat 2 is terminated. Shadow Walker in the party that shouldn't is on its way to chaos. Demon Frog's preparation might just be in vain. We've got the heal potions to get everybody back to full health. As Team Mapstrats is still dealing with the uncrunkable Warmech. It's getting revenge for the thrashing that Shadow Walker gave it, but he's getting revenge against the wrong targets. He's really loving that early turn nuclear. But Zenobian made it through Warmech. Zenobian is at Tiamat 1. I assume Azada's only here for the free, quote-unquote, free XP. As Shadow Walker rounds the corner to chaos. Min, you want to take this one?
Alright. Let's see what chaos has got for us. Temper goes out in the fighter. Another Temper. Rub. Not too scary. 4 hits, 156.
Yeesh.
That's not good. More Tempers. 3 hits, 133. Don't quite think Temper strats are gonna work here.
It's the only strat we've got, because I'm pretty sure we've run ourselves out of nuke charges. It's
Uh-oh.
Temper or nothing.
More Tempers. 3 hits, 383, alright. Three hits, 669. Now we're getting somewhere.
We're starting to accelerate.
Rub ineffective. More Tempers. 3 hits, 414. 2 hits, 276. Ouch. Inferno comes out. Kills the first black mage. Fade. 101. Nuke. 141. 276 terminate.
And chaos goes down. Zodiac Braves in first place with an official race bot time of 58 minutes and 46 seconds. Gosh dang. We have our first sub-hour of the tournament. As Mazada's taken on Tiamat 1, and Zenobian's doing some equipment rearrangement before he takes on Tiamat 1.
Is going to mess me up. I know it is.
And we're joined in the booth now by Demon Frog and Shadow Walker, Team Zodiac Braves. You guys managed sub-hour.
Yeah, we did.
Holy crap. Holy crap.
That's mainly on the back of Shadow. I was sloppy. I'm not happy with how I played.
Fizzle, you weren't kidding about that seed being Christmas.
Look, Santa abides, okay?
Yeah, you know, I asked for loot, I got loot, I asked for the next two fiends, and they were in the entrance I was at in the next one. It doesn't get any better than that.
Uh-huh. So, all right, let's ask the first question. Tell me about party strats, because I see Fighter Rainbow, and I see Fighter Red, and too many black mages.
Too many black mages? Are you kidding? Like,
Never
you
have
saw
too
that
many
chaos
black
fight,
mages.
right?
So I mean that kind of plays into kind of what our strategy is Shadow plays it, you know, fast and aggressive. So he goes with his black mages. I played a little more pulled back, and that's why you saw as soon as we hit go mode, the deal is Shadow hits Temple of Fiends and see if, you know, two black mages and red mages can just power through while I go find a spot to grind, and I come in behind him with him feed me information. Tia hits hard, opens with poison, you know, all that kind of stuff, so that I know I come in with a little bit higher levels and better prepared and a safer party.
That definitely worked here. So Shadow, you entered Temple of Fiends at like the 50-minute mark.
Yep.
Two of your characters were level 25. Probably not the ones you wanted.
Didn't matter, I had 3 tempers.
All right. Tell me about your idea of how exactly you were going to try and play that Topher.
So the first 3 fiends, we nuke into oblivion, and the last 2, Tiamat and Chaos, we had level 1 temper, and we throw out all the tempers and swing into the sky. They had a bit of defensive stats, so I wasn't swinging for quite as much damage as I wanted, given that I had Excal rather than, say, Vorpal or Mazza. But it was enough.
So it's at this point that Santa cracks a smile and tells you that so you were missing Vorpal and Mazza.
Oh, I knew I was missing Vorpal. Demon Frog found Vorpal, I knew where it was, and I decided that going to Ordeals was not worth the time investment.
Right. Your opponents did find Mazza.
Okay.
And they found it somewhere around like the 35-minute mark.
Oh, wow.
Elf Prince.
Oh. You know, that herb that we never turned in, because I was too busy checking all the Cardia entrances and getting Christmas in Onrak.
Uh-huh.
It's fine.
Yeah, for this stage and the scaling, Excal will work. I can see, you know, in a week or two when we're looking at, you know, 300% clamp, that Excal, you may not want to ride that the whole way.
Yeah.
So, Demon Frog, I want to touch on something that you said earlier, that you are very, very unhappy with your performance. If there's one thing that you could have gone back in time and changed, what would it be?
I mean, one thing that really bugged me was I believe I found Kraken in the North Marsh split. Like, oh, okay, cool. And then, you know, he was wrecking my people. I got the brack off and then totally threw away the fact that I had another split to check. It was nothing, but I'm sitting there for, you know, a good 5 minutes going, I know I missed it and I don't remember where. And just little small things. Like I know the beginning, I was kind of duping along trying to throw shit at Garland, and that didn't work. I just kind of failure to launch a little bit.
I'm going to interrupt the interview real quick. Team Mapstrats is on a combined assault of Topher. Mazada has just pulled carry 2. 4 hits, 85 out of the Mazza. We're going with double nukes, double sub 200s. We're going to try again. Swing, nuke, fade, nuke. Nuke goes out. 292. Fire 2 comes in. That's not going to do anything. Outgoing fade. For 139, carry 2 goes down. That seems like kind of a squishy carry 2.
Yeah, carry 2's HP was on the friendly side of things. She rolled up because of clamps, but not by a whole lot, so wasn't too bad.
Mm-hmm. And shortly behind Mazada, Zenobian is taking on and taking down carry 2.
Down goes this fighter.
Nah, we don't need that. We got life. We're fine. Although we could do with more than 82 out of fade, but that nuke for 150 is good enough as Mazada's rounding the water floor. It's unclear at this point if this is 2 people trying to clear or if this is a scout feeding information scenario. But as Shadow proved, the scout might have what it takes to clear Topher, because I'm pretty sure the scout has even higher levels. We're going to open. We've got Temper, we've got Invis 2 on Kraken 2. We've got Fade, and we've got Fight. Fade goes out for 220. Incoming, blows up the Black Mage. Mazza swing. 1 hit, 38. Temper happens. Round 2. We're going to try Temper. Nope. Yep. Yeah, we're going to try Temper. And Invis 2. And then we're going to swing. Invis 2 goes out. We've got 2 stacks of it at this point. Temper goes out. Incoming, blows up the fighter.
No.
655. All right. Last ditch effort. Let's try fades, but incoming, boom goes the red mage. Fade for 109 ain't going to do it. We're going to... Hail Mary Quake doesn't happen. And Lich 2 shames us by finishing us off with Lightning 2. Let's see if Zenobian can do better. As I say those words, incoming, 10 hits, 780 damage. Boom goes the fighter. Let's try nuke, let's try fade. Both of them, sub 200. Fade, only 94. Incoming, fire 3. Does okay damage. Thief punches. Doesn't matter. Nuke goes out. 130, Kraken 2 is terminated. Zenobian is through to Tiamat 2.
Oh, Kraken couldn't have rolled up that high either.
No, that's a squishy looking Kraken. I mean, don't let it hug you, but, just fire things at it until it falls over.
Looks like Mazada's going after his tail turning.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one thing. That was one thing that Shadow was saying. Maybe one of us should just go, Thief Rainbow and be the scout part. I'm like, well, if Shadow's going first, he's the scout, but there's no reason the scout can't take the old college try, and it worked out this time.
Yep. Okay, we're on Tiamat floor. We got an annoying party. We're trying to run away from it. There we go. We're approaching Tiamat 2. Now, Tiamat 2 was, let's call it thick.
Yeah, Tiamat 2 was beefy.
Yeah.
Beefy and hit super hard.
We're going to do a little bit of rearranging. Min, you want to take this?
All right. Opening up with 2 tempers on the fighter. Tiamat opens with lit 2. Not too bad. 4 hits, 289. More tempers. 5 hits, 413. Just more lit 2s from Tia 2. More tempers. 4 hits, 471. Ice 2. It's really not showing off what it had. And down goes Tia 2 with no trouble at all.
That was a very different looking Tia 2 fight because it kind of just stood there.
Well, also, that Mazza was doing a lot more damage than my X-Cal was.
Yep.
That's just, that shows you what those extra hits from the Mazza and the extra base damage do for it.
Yep.
Such a good weapon.
We've rounded the corner. We're on the Chaos fight. It's time for the final healing. We're down to 15 heal potions. That might be enough. We're going to ration them out a bit. And we're out. So we're just going to dump the fighter on the bottom and hope for the best. Here we go. Thief isn't even going to bother punching. We're going to try Temper. We're going to try Invis 2 and a swing. Invis 2 goes out. This is going to help with that incoming punch problem. Mazza swing. 4 hits, 101. That's
Without a temper, that's not that bad, actually.
Rub happens, but misses the Thief. We're going to try Temper and Invis 2 and swing once again. Invis 2 happens early. We get lots of evasion out of the gate. 5 hits, 169. Gonna need more help than that. Chaos tries to stun the Thief. That doesn't even work. We're going to try Temper, yet more Invis 2, and swing. 2 hits, 27. We're headed in the wrong direction. This is not what we want to see. But at least we got 3 stacks of evasion. Incoming punch misses the Black Mage. We're going to try Temper, Invis 2. Ice 3 goes out. Huge damage on that fighter. Invis 2 happens. This is our 4th stack. Temper goes out. Let's try swing. 4 hits, 603. Now we're talking
Nice.
the final Temper on the Black Mage. We're going to switch to Nuke, and then we're going to try swinging again. Here we go. 4 hits, 415. It's working. But that Ice 2 clocks 100 damage on the fighter. Nuke for 169. We're going to try Nuke. Incoming Fire 3. I'm worried. Oh, but it only does 39 damage to that fighter. Fighter swings. 4 hits, 512. Nuke comes out. 380.
He's got to be close.
Really high nuke.
Nuke goes out. Red Mage is out of nukes. We're going to try Temper. Rub comes in. Doesn't do anything. Nuke happens. 172. Chaos is still there. Swing. 3 hits. 669. Terminated with an official race bot time of 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 42 seconds. GG.
Yeah, that's one thing with the item magic being shuffled. You're not guaranteed defense or white shirt. I think Invis 2 was level 4, Ruse was 5, so you had to ration that out.
Mm-hmm. We're going to see if one or both of them want to come in for an interview right now, but 1 hour, 10 minutes, that's a very respectable time. I've been looking at a lot of the data of teams' practice times, and they seem to all be hovering in the 115 to 130 range. So against most other teams, that 110 would have made it. But unfortunately, Shadow Walker decided that no level is too low level, and we're just gonna do Topher. Levels are an illusion. We'll just throw nukes till it's done.
I mean, if they were playing against anybody that wasn't a maniac, they had a very, very good time that could very well have won.
Make no mistake. I respect your insanity.
I tried to make you proud. I knew you would have done it.
I mean, that's kind of the thing with 2 people is you can throw someone at Topher, and just if they get through, great. If not, at least you have information for the person coming right behind. So, way back in the Chaos Cross tournament, that was my thought is, make Topher beat me, go in a little bit lower than you think you need to be, and maybe you'll get through. And it so happened this time, Shadow was able to get through on his first pass.
And we're joined in the booth by Team Map Strats, Mazada and Zenobian. GG, guys.
Hello, GG.
GG.
GG, guys.
Yeah, it was a good finish.
So tell us about how that seed went start to finish.
Well, I made a little bit of a blunder right at the start when I forgot that I didn't fully clear out that earth floor that had those unrunnable frosties that I couldn't get past. And lo and behold, what was right behind them? Our favorite boat. So we got off to a bit of a slow start because of that. It took me a few minutes to realize we thought we had everything cleared out, and we were like, oh, wait a minute. I didn't get that one room.
I will say that I believe you were around 4 minutes. You as a team were around 4 minutes slower to the airship than Team Zodiac Braves. But after that, it looked like you were really trying to make up time.
I thought that after the airship, we found so many things so quickly, and we were doing really, really well.
Yeah, that seed overall felt like a joy to route. it felt like you kept finding things at a really good pace, and there weren't any like lulls that I would say were in that seed. It was, you went from entrance to entrance. It was quick to get everywhere, and just it felt like everywhere you went, you found something.
So let's talk about party comp for a minute. I see Mazada is rocking the Fighter Rainbow, which is, it's good, it's respectable, it's the bog standard of parties that you would take for something like this. Zenobian, you've got a Thief. Let's hear about that.
So the reason I take the Thief is that the XP scaling is so high in this flag set, and this is just my opinion, and I'm new, so I could be completely wrong, but I feel like the XP scaling is so high that I can just run away from the vast majority of encounters. The Thief helps me do that much better, and I can just take the good XP encounters when I see them and just ignore everything else.
All right. I can see where you're going with that strategy, and
Extra
Oh.
GG to Mazada for doing the victory lap.
nobody's
You're all
self-laconic.
welcome.
Nobody's self-laconic. You'll owe him royalties. Let's give Mazada the chaos fight he deserves. As soon as we get done stocking up on heals, we got a lot of band-aids to hand out.
Mazada's better man than me. Shadow Walker said, "I'm done. I threw the controller down."
Final band-aids being handed out.
All right.
And here we go. A little bit of party rearranging. Chaos time. We open with Temper. We open with Invis 2. Some more Invis 2. And a swing. Here we go. 4 hits, 224. That's nah. Invis 2 comes out.
For no Temper.
It's the best opening hit we've seen so far. Unfortunately, that Black Mage just exploded. Second Invis 2 goes out. Second round. Let's try Invis 2. Let's try Invis 2. How about a swing? More evasion. We're at 3 stacks. More evasion. We're at 4 stacks. We're probably going to be safe from chaos punches at this point. Swing goes out. 2 hits, 17. That's not good. Rub, ineffective. Let's try Temper. Let's try Invis 2 and a swing. The 5th stack of Invis 2 happens early. Swing happens. 3 hits, 41. That's kind of the right direction. Temper goes out. Next round. Here we go. Let's try. We're going to do Temper. We're going to do Xfer. Oh, we're getting weird. Swing goes out. 3 hits, 60. Temper happens. I did not see. Temper happens. Inferno comes in. That, nah. We're going to try the Quake Gauntlet. Ineffective. Temper goes out. Let's try swinging. 4 hits, 552. Blaze happens. Nobody takes any damage. Temper. Let's try more Quake. Ineffective on that Quake Gauntlet, but we're still hoping. 4 hits, 470 out of the Mazza. Stun comes out. Doesn't do anything. Temper lands. Let's try Temper again. Let's try Quake. Let's try Swing. 3 hits, 471 out of the Mazza. Yet more Temper. Incoming punch misses. Quake Gauntlet. Ineffective. We're going to try Quad X. Oh, I want this. Oh, but Quad X misses. Swing. 3 hits, 261. Quake Gauntlet. Ineffective. Incoming Ice 3. Some damage is taken, but we're still kicking. We're going to try Quad X again. Some more Quake Gauntlets and a swing. Quad X comes out. Ineffective. Quake Gauntlet. Ineffective. Swing. 5 hits. 559, I believe that said. Ice 2 comes out. That doesn't do anything. We're limited on level 4 charges. This might be the last Quad X. Swing. 3 at 758. Chaos goes down.
Hey, GG again.
GG again. And it did hit, but unfortunately it didn't seem to help with the quake.
So I've got some bad news for you on that front. I didn't want to interrupt you during your chaos fight.
That's all right.
The only 2
Spells.
insta-death spells that Xfer will change the probability for.
Bane and Brack.
Brack and
Probably.
Quad X.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Everything
Quad
else
X.
is still 3 and 256, just because Chaos has maxed out MDef.
Yeah, 200 MDef is so strong.
Yeah. Brack,
Well, I tried.
yeah, that Brack will get to 6%, but that Quad X, if you were ever within 300 health, that would have done it.
I was rooting for the erasure. That would have
I
been a cool way
really
to
wanted
kill
it.
him.
I know,
Yeah,
that was
that would've
so
been awesome.
hopeful. Mhm. So,
But yeah, back to the interviews.
so after your conversation with Santa, things kind of got a little better for you. You ended up tracking down a couple of the fiends.
And we found the loot.
Mhm.
We went back to the marsh and got the loot.
Yep. Oh, that's right. That's what you wanted. You wanted the loot. Look,
wanted the
Santa
loot.
gets his list confused sometimes. It's fine. So once you found that loot, you were clearly on the hunt for the other fiends after that, and you did bump into Warmech. Tell us about that and how that went for you.
I want to take it. Zenobian found him first. If you want to tell your experiences, but he was very nuclear.
Yeah, Warmech was not very kind today. At least on the time that I did get him, he cast Cure 4 on like turn 2. But I noticed that I couldn't spam nuke him down. His health was too high, and his MDiff he was resisting every time, so the damage was below 200. So I just had to hope for RNG to let me temper enough times to swing through. And my red mage just got whapped before I could cast Invis or anything. I was spamming temper anyway. But yeah, he was not a fun man today.
But you did eventually both make it through, I saw. Was it part of your plan to have both of you kill Warmech, or was it just a whatever, we're here, we're gonna just, take the levels if we can get them?
Since we were both there, we kind of wanted to get the levels because we were both kind of still low. Since we were both there, to get the levels and go on to Tiamat and see if one of us could get Tiamat. He got through Warmech first, but he failed on Tiamat, so it worked out.
Yeah, I think if I had gone back and rezzed my red mage, we could have been in TOF about 5 minutes faster instead of me just banging my head on Tiamat with no red mage, and he just kept punching people with stun touch. And ugh.
Mm-hmm. All right, Min, do you have any questions?
Nope.
Then I guess we'll move on to final thoughts. Team Zodiac Braves.
I mean, considering we haven't practiced much, I'm shocked we pulled a sub hour. We've only been able to practice probably 3, maybe 4 times since the flags came out. So, I mean, it just fell into your lap, kind of. Just everything was in the right spot, and we were able to communicate and say, I'm doing this, you do that, and it just worked out really well this time.
I will say, though, I felt like our communication and routing decisions and not accidentally overlapping, we did a much better job on this one than our last practice. So very happy with our overall play. I know Demon had a couple points where he would have liked to have done a little bit better, but I felt like as a team, our coordination was a lot better.
All right, Team Map Strats, final thoughts.
Well, I just hope that the next seed we do has some more crazy C-split into Marsh split into 15 floor nonsense, because this one was really straightforward, and both teams had really great times, sub-hour especially. That's amazing. And a 110 is pretty good for us as well.
Yeah, I think we did. Overall, I just enjoyed the seed. There's a couple of things we need to improve on. Just making sure we don't overpass anything and remember where things are right away and go back and check the key item. And knowing when that go mode is, I think, is one of our key things we still need to work on, and passing up check. So maybe we can get a better time next time.
Min, final thoughts?
Not really, no. I don't really have anything to add to that.
All right. Well, thank you to Randomania for hosting us and for hosting us for the duration of this wild, wacky co-op tournament. Thank you to the runners for putting on one heck of a show and even, agreeing to our mid-race interview shenanigans. I had a blast with those. Thank you to Min for braving the commentary booth with me. This has been an adventure.
It was fun though.
Thank you to Dark Moon, who's on tracking, and thank you to our restreamer, Tyrannex. My name is Lord Fizzlebeef, and we will see you later on this week for yet more wonderful, wonderful co-op tournament. Have a good night.